Yo, 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 yo. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Max and Juan cast. Max, how you doing tonight, my brother?
Good. Officially 1 week away from the end of this season and a couple days away from the end of this year. It went by fast, both things.
Yeah, went by fast. Another year, another football season. Practically almost over as far as the regular season goes. But it's been
hmm
amazing. Uh make
We
sure
got
to
some cool college stuff coming up, right?
yeah.
We got
Have you been watching the college football playoffs?
they already start? I didn't know. I didn't know they already
Yes, they did
started.
start.
Okay.
Um,
Don't care.
Look, you know who does care though? We do. All right. About everyone subscribing to the channel. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below any thoughts, opinions that you guys have. Appreciate all the love and support that we get. How was your Christmas, Max?
It was good. It was very good. My wife, she's recovering from surgery, so a lot of gifts for the wife, not a lot of gifts for me. No America tickets, no America belt. But it was all good. How about yours? I mean, I'll say this one. We always love, Christmas and football. I mean, sorry, Christmas and basketball. How did you feel about two like NFL games on Christmas,
Yeah.
which dominated the NBA rating wise,
Apparently,
but they sucked.
apparently,
But they sucked.
yeah, apparently it dominated. But I was on the road a lot. I was trying to hit like a lot of places. Different family members' houses. So I didn't really get to like sit down and watch the majority of the games, besides really the Raven game, maybe, which was probably the worst game.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean. I don't like the whole Wednesday football. Like if Christmas lands on Sunday or Monday, okay, or even Thursday, I'm cool with it. I don't like the whole Wednesday or
Yeah,
Tuesday. Like it's kind of I
let's
don't
just
really.
F a team over.
Right. That's my whole thing. Is like I don't think this benefited anyone in that aspect. Like the Ravens, the Steelers, the Chiefs, all those teams got fucked, bro. So that's my 2 cents. I didn't really care for it. My Christmas was good though. Got to spend it with some family. Um yeah, it was cool. New Year's is coming up, and what else is coming up is Jaden Daniels and Michael Penix, bro. Let's start off there because these upcoming rookies, they put on a fucking show, bro. I really enjoyed this game. I got to watch the majority of all of it, especially the fourth and overtime of it. I was just impressed. I was impressed by both guys, just poise and accuracy, running, just like ballsy freaking plays, bro. Just some great stuff on both sides. Washington winds up coming out with the dub. But what was your overall thoughts about this Sunday night game, Max?
It lived up to what I thought it could live up to. Like if you asked me before the game, like how do you think it'll go? I'm like, it'll be good, but not like great. But they really showed out. Both teams, both quarterbacks. First half, it was all Falcons. Bijan Robinson having a good year. But the second half, it was like the Jaden Daniels show, in my opinion. And it just shows how good he is. And it kind of, again, and I'm sorry, I keep saying like a lot. I don't mean to. It just showed us. I guess if you're a Bears fan, you watch that game, you're like, ugh, this feels even better. Like the one quarterback who hadn't played, who would be like, at least Caleb's, better than that probably.
Right.
And again, this isn't indicative of like, Caleb's a bust because of this guy. I'm just saying like, hey, Caleb again, it's looking a little crappier. You know what I'm saying? Like it had no impact on anything. The Bears sucked on Thursday. What's new?
Yeah.
But it just shows Michael Penix is good. And I wasn't even the biggest Michael Penix guy.
Mm-hmm.
And you think about quarterback classes who were promised, right? Like the 2020 class with Lawrence, Martin, Lawrence, Wilson, Mac Jones, Trey Lance, Justin Fields.
Right.
Me and you, I bet if you went back and asked us before, it'd be like, oh, there's going to be at least 3 good quarterbacks that come out of here, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And there's really one. In this one, I would have said maybe 2, and it seems like there's 5, like 5 out of 5 hits.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't know with JJ McCarthy, but
Which we'll get into a little bit later. But look,
mm-hmm.
just on the Michael Penix part,
He looks good.
the fact that he threw that pick in the beginning, which wasn't his fault, I think something was, miscommunication with the route or whatever. I just thought it was great poise, bro. Like, he got put in some really tough situations, and really incompetency by his head coach, by his team. I thought they had a legitimate chance to win that game if
Do
they
you
just
really
call a
think you
timeout.
would say incompetent? Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I would say this one. They look like a team whose quarterback, like, they just went through a massive shift. And what I mean by that is, like, it's small things, right? It's like the cadence is off a little. Like, you have where the ball's getting snapped and receivers aren't running.
Yeah.
And those things are magnified because you're fighting for your life in the playoffs. But if they're like, 8-12, or sorry, 4-12, and it's not a big deal, right? When it comes to this, but they're fighting for a spot, and you can definitely see those things come up. And the interception, like a miscommunication,
Yeah.
and like that's gonna happen, right? Especially with young quarterbacks. It's just magnifying because he kind of got thrown out there probably in a weird situation. I mean, obviously it's weird. It's not maybe a little weird.
I'm
It was
gonna
just
say
weird
this.
timing.
I think they're like 2 or 3 weeks late. I think they should have done
Yeah,
this a
no,
lot earlier. I think a lot of those things would have not been a problem last night. And I kind of felt like they had the training wheels on him a little bit for like too long. And he kept on like coming back and saying like, "No, I got it. Like, I'm good. I don't need these training wheels." They were trying to not lose the game rather than win the game. And Michael Penix just kept on making plays where it was like, "I'm going to take control. I'm that guy." He got put in a horrible situation. That 4th and goal, Max, with the game on the line, you can't ask for a more horrible situation than he got put in that time and moment.
What I don't like, what I like and somewhat don't like is how protective they're being of him. Like you're saying, right? Like it's like training wheels. The whole first half and even last game, because they got up big, it was just like, hey, just hand the ball off. Don't do anything. Just don't fuck it up.
Right.
And while that's a cool way to play, you're not going to see what he's made of. And I think he's more talented than I gave him credit for coming out. And I think you kind of just have to like live and die by his left arm.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of look at it like this, where I don't think they were trying to not call a timeout on purpose, like they didn't know, but it's more like what I said. They didn't want him to make a mistake. So they're like, let's just chill, let's kick it. We're in a place where we can potentially get a shot off, but I don't want you throwing an interception here. So let's just let the clock run out. And I just wish they would have a little bit more awareness of just the situation, Max, where you have nothing to lose. Like, I understand the playoffs were on the line, but you have nothing to lose in a sense where you already benched Kirk Cousins. It's already a fucked up situation. You're like you're in this moment. You're kind of playing with house money. Just let the kid go. Let him go. And every time
the boy go.
Yeah, let him go, bro. Just let him be. Let him throw the pick at the end of the game. Fuck it. You rather have it this season, this moment, rather than next season. Let's say the stakes are even higher. Because in all honesty, they could have won their division if they would have just played this kid earlier. I truly feel like that.
Or I mean, they definitely wouldn't be in the dogfight they're in.
Yeah.
Because what's their situation heading into next week? It's
they need a win, and they need the Bucks to
loss.
Lose. Yes.
And the Bucks need the same thing, or the Bucks can just win outright.
The Bucks win and they're in. Simple.
That's crazy. See, this is the 4th year or 3rd year of Atlanta being like, we're ready for them to make it, and it's like the horrible loss to the Raiders or horrible loss to the Chargers, crap like that. Like on the other side, Washington, you have your man, you have a franchise-changing quarterback. I thought he was out for the year when that play where he got twisted, like the first series of the game where his cleat got caught and he was pretzel. But he walked it off. He played great. Just such a good thrower of the football. And I mean, obviously, rookie of the year. I don't see it's not even close. Bo Nix has played admirably, but I don't even think it's close in my eyes.
Yeah, he
It's
cemented it.
really
He
not.
he cemented it. I think he just has so many signature moments this year. You have the Bengals game on Monday Night Football to really like break them out onto the scene. And then you have the Eagles win against a top 3 defense, if not the best defense in the league. And then you have a clinch the playoffs on Sunday Night Football where the whole world
I,
is
I
watching
don't
you.
I don't know if this is biasness towards Bo Nix, but if you ask me to like say his best throw or best play, I just feel like it would pale in comparison to Jaden Daniels. Like you said, obviously the ones that stick out to me are last week against the Eagles, all up blitz, Quinion Mitchell covering Terry McLaurin, just throw up a dime. So he did that in Cincinnati on Monday Night Football, the Hail Mary. And his moments have come almost in like the biggest time of the like biggest games of the week. Like, hey, you're on the national game on Monday, you're on Sunday Night Football. Hey, every game's done but yours on Sunday, and everyone's just watching you right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's more of the thing in basketball for like rookie of the year. So it's like, what were their moments, right?
Right.
Like, hey, what was Lonzo Ball's rookie moment? What was Joel Embiid's, Ben Simmons? Like, what were their rookie moments, right?
Right.
But this is a guy in football because Bo Nix, hey, any other year he might win it, right?
Yeah.
Brian Thomas might win it any other year.
Bowers, Neighbors, I mean all of them.
Bowers,
Yeah.
exactly. These guys all might win it. Drake May could have a case. Like, oh damn, Drake May's playing good out of his mind.
Yeah.
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 But unfortunately, it's just this kid had so many moments, and he's just there. They have 11 wins, and Washington. We weren't thinking Washington was coming out to be a player.
And honestly, I know it got killed. Maybe I forgot what was the bad game he had. I want to say it was against Pittsburgh. Like he really shit the bed, and I think it was him coming off injury as well. But that kind of killed his MVP talk. I'm not saying he should win MVP. I'm not saying that, but I do think he should be in the conversation. Like as crazy as that sounds to people, I don't think they win 11 games without Jaden Daniels, and that's a fact.
I will say this: there's definitely ebbs and flows to their offense. It's like Cliff Kingsbury, and I think that's just the thing with him, right? Like Cliff Kingsbury, all of a sudden, like it's all hitting on every cylinder, and now it's poo poo for 3 quarters. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
But other than that, I think Cliff has grown. I think he's a perfect quarterback for Cliff. And again, we talked about Kyler. Just Kyler was just Cliff's guy, right? Like he had to have Kyler,
mm.
and Kyler Murray just continues to shit the bed.
Well, look,
And sorry,
as
sorry, I went on a tangent.
no,
But
you're good. You're
I just
good.
brought that up because I think this is who Cliff thought he was getting in Kyler.
In a
Like
sense, yeah.
Jaden Daniels. Yeah. Like this is what like you could tie your horse to this kid.
Right. Yeah. Be an interesting decision for Cliff if he wants to leave or not. Maybe if he gets a head
Well, I'm
coaching
sure
job.
teams will want him to. Like
And
you
I
would
don't
think
think
the
he
Bears
should.
would be knocking on his door. No, I'd be like, no, stay. You're not a coach. Just be
Right.
an OC.
Some guys are just coordinators, and I think Cliff is a really good coordinator. Let's see what happens. Look, as much as I want to talk about Kyler, I do want to get into that later on into the show. Let's talk about Bo Nix. You mentioned him about signature moments. In all honesty, man, I was thoroughly impressed by Bo Nix on Saturday. I thought
Yeah, this was his game.
this
was his game.
this was the game. Unfortunately, he lost, but man, did he make some freaking throws in this game. Look, obviously Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Joe Burrow's freaking amazing, but I have the clips playing right now. The throws that this kid Bo Nix was making, I was jaw dropped. Where this is what I've been looking for the whole year. This is what I've been looking for in the draft process. What I was
Yeah.
seeing, he shut me up. He shut me up. Like, okay, you can fucking play. You can make every throw in the book. I'm sold. I'm sold.
The throw to Marvin Mims was his was his defining play of the year.
Yes.
I definitely think they're gonna make the playoffs. Like they would have loved to win this game and clinch it. And this game also showed to me why Cincinnati shouldn't be in the playoffs. It is miscues waiting to happen, right? One T. Higgins fumble, miss kick. What else is there?
I
Joe
mean,
Burrow is awesome.
just blown.
It's everything. It's everything with them. It's like, geez, but man, are they scary. And if you told me before, hey, Bo Nix might kind of go, I wouldn't say 100%, but maybe match Joe Burrow at 80%, 75,
Right.
be like, yeah, that's a tall task. But he did, and I'm just Bo Nix has had a tremendous year. Like I said, we're gonna rank the rookie quarterbacks and all the rookies later in the year, but there's no doubt in my mind he outperformed my expectations of him by far, and I'm sure he did for you too.
Yeah, he did. Look, I like I said, I'm gonna shut my mouth about Bo Nix. There was that little inkling, like in the back of my head, like I still need to see more, bro. Like I know he's winning and they're having a good year. Like I still wanted to see more, and that was it. That's what I wanted to see. Where it's like back against the wall, pressure in your face, you're gonna deliver a dime on the money, and it's a deep ball. Like that's I love to see that. I'm a donkey hater. I hate the donkeys, bro. Obviously, but I gotta give props where props is due. And Bo Nix, I'm not saying that he's like a top 5 guy or he's gonna be some like amazing quarterback Hall of Famer, but he's gonna be a good player in this league. He's definitely the franchise quarterback for the Broncos moving forward for the next 3 or 4 years. And
And that helps a franchise
yeah,
because you know where you're
you
headed.
hit.
Hey, next year he could regress and we're faced with these problems, but at least for one offseason, you're like, okay, we know exactly what we need to do.
Yeah,
We need to go get people and we need to support Bo Nix. And we have our guy, and there's a belief around him, and there's all these things, and it's really nice to have.
yeah,
I
exactly.
ask one, guys. He has not had a lot of franchise quarterbacks in his day, but even with all the Derek Carr drama, at least at the end of the day, hey, we have someone capable
Yeah.
back there.
Yeah. And you know what? In all honesty, like the Broncos fans know that. If you're a Bronco fan, you know that. Paxton Lynch, Trevor Simeon, like how many years has it been
Yeah,
since Peyton Manning?
since Peyton, Brock Osweiler was the guy.
Exactly. And it's very, very hard to find that guy. And Bo Nix, they found him. Big Bo Nix performance. It sucks that it got shuffled in the L and the Joe Burrow performance. Joe Burrow is him though. I mean, Joe Burrow is fucking amazing, bro. Jamar Chase, what a game from him. I think he had like 100 yards plus. That was being guarded by Surtain most of the game. Their offense is unbelievable. It's literally just their fucking defense, special teams, like all around everything
No,
but the offense.
it's just even the superstars won, like Burrow. Like he's making the pick in the wrong moment of the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
saying like T. Higgins, who
Fumble. Yeah.
is as good as T. Higgins is, like a top 10 receiver borderline, fumble in like the worst time possible.
I look, me personally, I would
I'm gonna
love
miss
to.
T. Higgins from the
Yes. Yeah.
Bengals.
I would love to see the Bengals in there. I don't want to see the
They're
Dolphins. I
they're
don't
the
want to see the
most
Broncos.
dangerous team that nobody wants to screw with.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, if they have to go play Buffalo in Buffalo the first round, I'm sure Buffalo fans will be like,
I
oh
think
my god.
regardless of the outcome, you're gonna get beat up in that game. You're gonna get beat up.
Correct. Oh yeah,
Regardless.
for sure. It's like we won, but like, geez, what an
Yeah.
oh, we had to really unload everything
Fuck
for
yeah.
round one.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll
Like
see
I'd
what.
rather play the Texans. I'd rather play anybody but the Bengals.
Yeah.
I'd rather play who else? I'd play the Chargers before the Bengals.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So the Chiefs play the Broncos week 18. We'll see what happens. They're starting your boy.
Carson Wentz, my boy.
Wentz is started. So we'll see what happens.
He controls the fate of 4 teams,
He
not
really
including
does.
his.
Really does. Your boy Carson Wentz. All right. Let's move on. Let's go to the Rams. Let's go to the NFC. Let's talk a little bit about them. And specifically Kyler Murray. Okay, so the Rams clinch the division on Sunday, including the win on Saturday. Saturday. They played on Saturday.
The strength of schedule and all that
Yeah, so
crap.
they clinched the NFC West. This game didn't mean anything for the Cardinals, really. It was more of a pride thing. But I have some interesting stats, Max, about Kyler Murray. And
Mm.
it's not good. Kyler Murray, this is in his career. in the months of November and December. Overall, his record is 13-29. Just guess how many wins he has in the divisional games. Just guess.
So 13. How many? When does that? That's when did his career start? 13.
I'd say
How many?
2018, 2019, somewhere right there.
So 2018 to now, that's probably like 3 games. I don't know. He's won 3 or 4.
You're pretty close. One. He's won one
Oh my
1 in
god.
17, Max.
I bet that's Seattle too. I bet like there's no way he's beat the Niners and Rams.
That's
Because the Rams have kicked the
insane.
shit out of them.
That's
Yeah,
insane
that's
to
so
me.
bad.
And I kind of want to transition after this about like in total about Marvin Harrison Jr. and some of the rookies, but Kyler Murray, man, I don't think it's a good look. I think this loss does a little bit more than Cardinal fans really realize.
I don't think it's this loss. It's from a week ago though.
Yeah,
That was the loss.
yeah. Just overall this season, where his lows have been super low, and he's just such a weird guy. He's so talented, but I don't want him as my quarterback. I don't.
Correct.
I just don't.
Correct.
He's a stat stuffer. He can have some really good games and look really good, man. But when it comes
I
down
almost
to it,
think you need to treat him like a Brock Purdy, where it's like we need to give him a lot of help.
yes.
And if we give him a lot of help, we can make a lot of magic.
And he's
Like-
not looked at like that. He's not.
But no, he's not a franchise guy. He just can't do it. Like I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Let me rephrase. It's not that he's a franchise guy. He's just not a difference maker. He's not Joe Burrow. Like he's not even close. He does not deserve to be in the realm of Burrow, of Allen, even the next tier down guys. Like I don't think he deserves to be there. Like Dak Prescott to me is on a different level than Kyler Murray. That's just how I feel about. Like to me, he's in the Geno Smith tier. And you're gonna be like, well, he's so much more talented, but you could have all the talent in the world, but what the hell does he ever do with it, right?
Right.
Like, when does he ever say, hop on Kyler? We're gonna just ride this motherfucker to the playoffs. You're not, because he doesn't do it.
Maybe in September.
Yeah, he's awesome for hot starts, but then it's like, his body, starts to break down. And hey, sometimes that freaking happens when you're a small guy.
And I just think it's easy. It's, I think back in the Super Bowl, Max, because we had a lot of comments, and I think it was like TikTok or YouTube or whatever. He did a short, and we are talking about like, hey, like pressure needs to be essential in the Super Bowl, like on Brock Purdy, and like, oh, no duh. You can get pressure on Kyler Murray, and yes, obviously you want to get pressure on every quarterback, but every quarterback handles pressure different. That's the difference. Like Joe Burrow, you can pressure him all you want. The Broncos were pressuring.
How do you think Kyler Murray handles pressure?
It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And
no, I'm saying how. Like how does he deal with it?
It's bad.
It's look to escape.
Yes.
How does Justin Herbert deal with pressure?
He stands in that gun hole and he fucking fires.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Don't care. I would say even Brock Purdy, to a degree, handles pressure like that. Sometimes he's like, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll just try to make the throw in the pressure.
Right.
And I just think that's one of the detriments to Kyler's game, unfortunately.
Yeah. Like you said, everything has to be going well, and this year they got him the weapons. Like Trey McBride is having an amazing tight end season. He's like the second overall tight end, like stats wise. He's been doing phenomenal. And then you draft him a generational type guy that everyone thought in the draft. And this is a kind of a transition into that. Like, what's going on with Marvin Harrison? Because it's looking like out of the top 10 guys, he's looking like the worst. Honestly, like who's looked better? And I know everyone wants to
Caleb or Marvin.
Yeah, like Caleb. It's between those two guys.
Are you really gonna ask me that?
Yeah,
that was really the question.
Yeah, like
I don't know. Marvin Harrison's the Caleb Williams of receivers. I truly mean this. I really loved him when I scouted him. I was like, slam dunk.
Right.
Let me rephrase. when I just, before we scouted, you just hear like this guy, this guy is just, oh my god, oh my god. And I kind of went into it like that, and I was like, damn, this fool is ridiculous. But the other guys, I was really impressed with Brian Thomas Jr. I was really impressed with Malik Neighbors, and it just seems like he lacks explosiveness. And I said, I was like, I've read a lot of things that said how explosive he is. Like they have this freak list, they have him like GPS clocked it all.
Yeah, I
But
remember
I
you
don't
bringing
think
that
it's
up.
explosiveness. I think he is fast when he gets going, but it's not like boom, 2 feet in the ground, top speed. And the writing, you can look at the writing on the wall. There's definitely writing on the wall with, hey, we don't have to include him in the game plan as much. Like it's not my job to include him.
Yeah.
And it's just a bad look for a rookie campaign. And he has not by any means been horrible.
No.
He's had a moment or two.
Yeah, it's not like Darius Hayward Bay status. Like he's done really
Yeah,
good.
he's not AJ Jenkins, my goat.
Right.
But
it's underwhelming.
Yeah.
It's just underwhelming.
And I guess when you compare it to Malik Neighbors, who, my God, was special
like
today.
you were saying with Caleb, like that's part of it. You look at Jaden Daniels, you look at Drake May. These guys are having moments. Bo Nix, same thing with the receivers. I mean, let's put Brock Bowers into it. Those guys are having moments. These guys are succeeding. Brian Thomas has Mac Jones. Malik Neighbors has Drew Lock. Daniel Jones.
Brock Bowers has nobody.
Aiden O'Connell and Garner Minshew, and they're putting up these numbers. And when Marvin Harrison, it's like, dude, you got Kyler Murray. What is going on? You should be a looter in the fire at worst, like all these other guys. And it's very disappointing.
I don't even know what he's at statistically. I genuinely don't know. But it just is underwhelming. Oh, yeah, 57 for 820 yards and 7 touchdowns. None of that's bad.
And I mean, 3 of those touchdowns came in one game. Just
correct. And like his, it's kind of like his best game was against the Rams pass defense, who couldn't cover shit ever.
Yeah.
Like look at Jawan Jennings did to them, right? Like just unbelievable. But overall, I think he was such a big name and legacy. And again, I'm still rooting for him. I still like Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he can still be very good. But man, these other guys just look like game changers.
Well, I kind of wanted to hit on them a little bit. Who do you want to start with? Just praising because
Bowers.
Let's do
Bowers. He's ridiculous. He looks like an old man. He's definitely you would pick him last in the recess game. He's like not overly muscular, he's skinny. Just a football player, right? Just runs crisp routes, gets open, just does everything right. And for a tight end, a rookie tight end, Kyle Pitts was supposed to be this.
Yes.
Kyle Pitts was supposed to be like, oh my God, it's ridiculous. And no, this guy is ridiculous. He is ridiculous. I'm just lost in the words because I've been watching tape. Route running so good for a rookie tight end.
Yeah, and I think you said it the best. We're gonna sound like a broken record because just a PSA, like we might do a video on Brock Bowers in the works. But it's what everyone has always wanted when you draft a tight end top 10. Or even in the first round. First round. TJ Hawkinson. It's like Evan Ingram. Eric Ebron, your boy, once upon a time.
Had a hell of a years last year. It's not even close to this one.
Not even close. This is what you see in guys. This is what you expect. Where it's like, oh my, he's a mismatch nightmare. He can do it all. He can block. He's kind of like a receiver out there. He's dynamic when he has the ball in his hands. That's what Bowers is. It just kind of sucks that he's on the Raiders. That's like really the only downfall. Like the Raiders are just not in a good place for him to contribute to wins at this point. And kind of ironic that I said that because the Raiders won on Sunday, but you know what I mean.
So the Giants.
Yeah,
so did the Jag.
Yeah. But like you said on Bowers, it's been amazing. He broke Mike Ditka's record. I love to see it. I'm a huge Bowers fan. I think compared to a lot of Raider fans and a lot of NFL fans out there, I'm kind of happy with my reaction to the pick, raw reaction when we did the draft. I know yours was like,
yeah, I was like, yeah, you have a decent tight end. You have Michael Mayer. What are we going to waste another pick on a tight end? But like, incorrect.
Right.
Stupid Max.
Yeah.
He's awesome. And next guy, Brian Thomas, probably the least talked about rookie receiver, like during the draft process, right? It was kind of like, damn, Brian Thomas, first round pick,
Yeah.
unbelievable,
Really, it was Chris
unbelievable.
Sims. I mean, shout out to Chris Sims. That was really the guy that I heard
Yeah, I was
giving
like,
praise to Brian
no. I was like,
Thomas.
no, you're just blowing smoke. And I watched him and I was like, oh my God, this guy is explosive as hell.
Right.
There were times I was like, James Daniels, throw the mother effer the ball.
Yeah. He's
And the Malik Neighbors is just, he's like the total package.
Malik
Like he's
Neighbors.
explosive. It's route running. It's yak.
Dude, Malik Neighbors made this play. I'm going to show it for the audience where he caught it. Like it was like a little screen pass. Made two guys miss, went in between the defenders and ran it to the house. That's some running back shit. He reminds me of
That's the one thing Brian Thomas in my book doesn't have.
yeah.
He don't have the wiggle with the ball in his hands. And I don't think Marvin Harrison has that either.
No. He's just a freak. He's a freak, bro. And I think, like you said, like watching the film, it was kind of hard not to give the crown to Marvin Harrison as far as our number one receiver. But how many times did we talk
And
about like Neighbors was so fucking close?
Yeah, correct. And so many times too in Marvin Harrison's last year, like god awful quarter. Like you couldn't even do nothing with that quarterbacking. It was like, oh, he's open, ball's 12 feet over his head.
Yeah. The one thing I worry about Neighbors, honestly, is
personality.
No, not well, a little bit of that too. You know, the Giants might ruin him, make it worse. But I don't think he's all that good of a route runner. That's what sold me on Marvin Harrison from Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas ran really one route at LSU. It was the fucking fade route. The go and screens. That was really it.
Well, here's the thing, Chris Sims and like people always say, like, hey, I think we can teach the really explosive guy how to run routes. I think we'll figure it out.
Right.
But and I think that's exactly what it come down to. Like
exactly.
Marvin Harrison's like that smooth, fluid, like D'Lo type guy.
Yeah.
And Malik Neighbors is like head on fire, Russell Westbrook, like boom, 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 boom. I'm going full speed.
Yeah. We'll see how he ends up like later on in his career. Like that's what worries me because you're gonna have to become somewhat of a route runner, and depending on like how you season up. Like I think part of that was the reason why Odell, like besides the injuries, he lost of his explosiveness and he wasn't really like a good route runner. His whole thing was like Malik Neighbors, like a crazy athlete with the ball in his hands, crazy speed when the ball's in the air. Like that's what he did. So I'm hoping he can still develop as a young player and really like develop that part of his game with the route running. That's what scares me.
It's going to be really interesting to see where the Giants, just to put more emphasis on Malik Neighbors, where they go with Dayball and everything, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, their fans are mad. They won. They pulled one out of their ass.
Yeah. To be honest, though, like who's in the number one pick? The Raiders and them, and who else?
The Raiders are 8th. They're the 8th pick.
And who's the Titans are there?
No, the Patriots. Too? They have the number one pick right now.
Yeah, but the Patriots aren't going to take a quarterback.
Yeah. You're going to have to trade
Don't
up.
worry about it.
Yeah. You're going to have to give a deal, in which we have seen. So we'll see what happens.
I would say this, though, Juan. It doesn't matter where your dog shit team picks if they're just going to continue to be crap.
Yes. You got to make the right.
You still got to get the pick right.
You got to get the pick
just
right.
Just so you know.
Got to get the pick right.
Just so you know.
Yes.
Last I checked, it matters who you pick. It doesn't matter where you pick.
Yeah. I try to explain that to Raider fans, but, all Raider fans.
I will say this. You have the best non-quarterback player in the draft, Raiders. And you took him at 13 or 14?
Yeah. I think it was like 12 or 13, something like that. But yeah, you're absolutely right. People love to watch like the college highlights and be like, oh, Shador Sanders and Cam Ward. Look, man, nothing's a for sure thing. It matters about where you're going to, like with these quarterbacks. It really does. Yes, you got the Jaden Daniels at some point, that can cover up a lot of those things, but it's hard. It's hard to find those guys, man. But shout out to all the rookies this year. Great rookie class. I can't wait to, do like a full-on review of all the rookies.
Shout out to the offensive rookies.
Yeah.
Not a lot of fun defensive rookies. Not the defensive rookie of the year class.
Yeah. Got a little thing on that one too. There's been some solid ones though. So
oh yeah.
Let's talk about, speaking of defense, let's talk about the Vikings. Amazing performance by the Vikings. They beat the Packers. Sam Darnold continues to fucking ball out.
I don't know about that. I would disagree. I would honestly say this game would almost make me be like, "Hey, Sam, what are we doing today?" Because I think he turned this into a game.
At the end.
He he turned it into a game where they were in control, 17-3 at halftime, and he threw 2 picks that kind of just breathed life into the Packers.
He threw one pick, but I know what you
No,
mean.
he did too. I like threw 2.
I'm not sure. I got to double check that, but I think
I'm gonna check.
I know for sure he threw one to like Ballantyne in the second half.
Yeah,
But
I would say that he was throwing some balls, and I was like, careful.
to
Like,
me though,
please,
man,
me lord.
it's really hard. It's hard to have this argument because he I think he's playing really really good, man. Like
One
he
pick.
has
I'm sorry.
he has 13 wins. Like he's been making some amazing plays, like amazing throws these last couple of weeks. But
Maybe it's just like you're just like, when's he gonna suck? Like when? Like it's Sam Darnold. You know, he's got like that stink on
I
him,
mean, he
right?
hasn't done it yet. That's the thing. Like that's kind of what we were doing with Brock Purdy to a point, and it just never winded up happening.
Except for this year.
Except for this year. But look, I still wouldn't do it. I look at that game, and as much as everyone wants to praise Sam Darnold, that defense played their ass off.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Like he almost was like, hey guys, like I'm just gonna make it like defense kicking ass. Like we just have to be conservative, and he was a little too aggressive. And it was like, oh man, like the Packers' only way to win is if you like give it to them a little, you know?
yeah, I would hold the phone, bro. Everyone is crowning him. Everyone is like, pay him, pay the man. He deserves it. Oh my goodness. Like, forget about JJ McCarthy. I'm sorry, bro. I don't feel like that. I don't know how you cannot watch that game on Sunday and look how great Kevin O'Connell is, that defense. The way that he approached the last minute of that game or last 2 minutes where they had the lead and the play calls that he was doing, he said, fuck that. I'm going to pass the ball. I'm going to get a first down. I'm not going to run the ball and run out the clock. I'm going to win right now. I'm not going to give in and give the ball back to Jordan Love. It's stuff like that where if Sam Darnold's on the Panthers, they don't do that. That's great coaching. That's a great coaching staff. That's a great team.
Correct.
Like certain things you just guys have to look at, bro. And it's very frustrating to just be like, it's Sam Darnold. He threw for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's the man. He's the reason why. Like, yeah, he played good.
He's playing awesome.
He's playing awesome.
He's not an MVP to me. He's absolutely an all-pro. Great comeback player of the year. Has to be. No one expected this from not me, not you, for sure.
No one.
You like the Vikings, but you wouldn't be like, oh, they're gonna be 13-2, number 1 seed, maybe.
Yeah, nobody.
But I will say this: that it's a team game with them. They are a really talented team. And Brian Flores, give him a head coaching job, please. He deserves it. He's been awesome.
Yeah.
Coordinator of the year.
It's always been awesome,
in my opinion.
Man. Yeah, very, very great.
Because to be honest, you look at their defense, you're not like, well, holy shit. There's all pros everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Cam Bynum, Andrew Van Ginkel, like those are the stars of their defense, dude.
Harrison Smith, obviously, a star, but like, and they're not getting crap out of Dallas Turner. He's really just an afterthought this year. He's really not.
Yeah.
But you look at the Eagles, you're like Jalen Carter, damn, like Josh Sweat, pretty good.
Yeah.
For two good corners, 2 decent safeties. Like, there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent on the Eagles, but Minnesota, like the coaching job is tremendous.
Yeah. He's coach of the year. In my book, he's coach of the year.
Oh yeah, Kevin O'Connell, and I think it's like give the whole coaching staff a fucking medal.
Yeah. Second, I would say Jim Harbaugh. I think Jim Harbaugh deserves some.
No Nick Sirianni. Cool. I'm used to it. No, I agree, Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, Jim Harbaugh for sure. But shout out to Kevin O'Connell. Shout out to the Vikings. As we speak right now, the Lions are playing. It doesn't matter. They're playing the Niners. Week 18, that's the biggest game of the week. It's going to be Vikings and Lions to decide first round bye. home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Huge game. I'm excited.
That's crazy. That's crazy that the Lions, who've been controlling the NFC the whole time, could literally go to a wild card team. And I mean, the Lions are, like we talked about, just decimated.
I think this is just it just keeps on getting worse and worse for the Bears, I feel like. Because
shout out to the Bears.
if I'm a
But also
coach,
this though, real quick, the Packers are still dangerous to me. I'm still like, ugh.
well, they lost to 3 teams. They've lost to the Lions, Vikings, and Eagles. They lost to the Lions twice and the Vikings twice. Those are the only teams they've lost to, and they're all really good fucking teams.
Yeah.
The Packers on the other, it's hard, bro. It's hard. I think Jordan
the
Love.
Bears? Oh, the Packers.
Yeah, I think Jordan Love just kind of that's what he does sometimes. That's kind of what you got to live with.
I don't think they really had. I think Matt LaFleur needs to go back to the drawing board when it comes to them. Kind of have to cook some shit up because the defense was kicking their ass.
They expected
it really was.
The Packers expected to punch them in the mouth and run Josh Jacobs all game.
And they were like, nope.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. What I was going to say about the Chicago Bears, it keeps on getting worse and worse. If I'm a head coach, I don't think I want to go to this division. This is the best division in football, and it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere.
They're a monster.
Yeah, you don't want to. That in the AFC West, you don't want to go there. It's just, it's fucked right now.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for the Raiders.
Yeah. But anything else that caught your eye in Week 17, Max, that we can hit in 30 seconds?
Saquon, 2K, say 2K. Doesn't have the same ring to it, but shout out to him.
Shout out to Nick Sirianni, who's going to put Saquon Barkley out there and potentially get him hurt because he wants him to get the Eric Dickerson record more than Saquon Barkley.
Honestly, I just want Eric Dickerson's record to fall so he'll shut the fuck up about it. He's not going to get it. I'm like, just because you said that. Everyone else would be like, I hope he breaks it. He's like, oh, no. Oh, real quick though, shout out to you for like 16 games. That's fucking nuts. It's fucking crazy. God, if AP had one more game, done.
Yeah, one more, man. Look, Kenny Pickett goes out there, balls.
Tanner McKee balls. Oh, the Eagles ball. They kicked the shit out of the freaking Cowboys.
I love to see it. I love to see the Cowboys
do too.
Get there.
Let's keep Mike McCarthy. Let's go. He's the best.
Very best. I think that's gonna do it though, man. Next week, week 18, it'll probably be a quick show. It'll probably be more of some playoff previews, honestly, because week 18 doesn't really have a lot of meaningful games. There's probably like 4 or 3 games that really like.
Yeah, if anything, we'll have to pop in during the week to do a preview because I mean, come on, it's playoffs. Yeah. We can do 2 shows in a week for the playoffs. Yeah.
Playoffs are approaching. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, week 17. Thoughts and opinions, little mini recap. Shout out to you guys. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to like the video, all that good stuff. We appreciate all the love and support that you guys have given to us. And look, man, I hope you guys have a happy new year. I hope you guys have a safe year. By the time you guys are watching this, it's probably going to be out New Year's Eve. So hopefully you guys had... Yeah, see you guys next year. I hope you guys had a amazing 2024 and you guys have an even better 2025. Max, any
I don't. I want it to be worse. The only thing
I hope the Eagles lose now. Honestly, I just hope you guys get fucking blown out. That you deserve that.
Lose.
You deserve that.
You lose.
I've already lost. I'm already dead inside, bro. Raiders suck.
I just hope America wins another chip. That's all. That's my team. Goodness. Those are my goats.
Oh, my goodness. Anyway, that's going to do it. We'll see you guys next year, all right? We out. Peace.